Welcome back to another episode of Motogp Mac, and today we're going to talk about the sprint races. Now, for me, the sprint races are probably a good addition to the championship for next year, but they also come with some what I would call downfalls, and that mostly is for the riders and for the machines. And this is something Jake is very passionate about, actually, I will admit. With the increase of the sprint races, it's going to add another 1,300 kilometers approximate to the lifespan needed for the engines across the year. Now, 1,300 kilometers doesn't sound too much, but if you remember this, that it's going to be 1,300 racing kilometers. And I will admit, I am a fan of the sprint races. When I go to a GP, there's nothing better than seeing the best racers in the world actually race, not spend 2 days fluffing about, and then we get 45 minutes of gung-ho racing. And with the sprint format, obviously it will be half of the race distance. There will still be qualifying on Saturday morning that will set the grid for Saturday and Sunday, but I think it will add more to the show. Some people say it might dilute it down, and I don't know, like, MotoGP has to do something about the show, right? The numbers attending races is falling. If you look at Silverstone this year in particular, was appalling. Do you know what I mean? There was more at a British Superbike race than at MotoGP. So for me, adding in the sprint race is a no-brainer. Not sure adding it at every race, but again, let's try it and see. Now, Marquez is very happy with it, with the whole sprint race idea, and I think this will play into his hands quite a bit. Alicia Spargaro is not so happy with them, and Lynn Jarvis doesn't like them, but then saying that, Yamaha being on the back foot, he's probably not going to like it anyway. But it does give them more racing data rather than just testing data. Now, also with the sprint races, they will be allowed change the tank on the bike to a smaller tank. There's no change to tire allocations over the course of the weekend. But I think for me, it's going to be a very interesting concept. Points are awarded for it, so Saturdays are as important as Sundays now. So I definitely think it's going to be one to watch next year, if I'm very honest. I am quite excited about it. The riders, maybe not so much, because now they have to do double the amount of race starts and actual races. The machinery is going to have to extend its life, because there's nothing in the regulations yet to say, you can have an extra engine or you can have a sprint engine. And I suppose for the riders, it is another risk that they're going to have to take. Another race start is quite risky, but actually racing where they're 100% on the pace, whereas in practice they mightn't be always pushing to that extra limit. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. What do you think of the sprint races? Do you think they're going to be good for the brand? Do you think they're going to be good for the fans? Do you think they're going to be a bad thing? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.